Joining us now here on Locked On Auburn, Auburn first baseman Sonny DiChiara. And we got to start things off. What a good-looking shirt you're wearing right now. Holy cow.
All right, look at
So what did you can get the shirt that Sonny's wearing right now at aushirts.com. Sonny, what did your family say when you sent them the link to this wonderful, wonderful piece of art?
They said I'm ordering 5. Everybody is like, I order them right now.
One in every color. Absolutely.
That's right. One every color.
Absolutely. Oh man. So you guys, I mean, what's it like when you say got to sit through rain delay after rain delay after rain delay? That's got to be obnoxious, right?
I mean, it definitely is no fun for anybody who's involved. It was just kind of like, when's it going to be over? When can we play the game? Like even on, game 3 yesterday, it was just like we were at the hotel. They said, "Yep, game's pushed back to 3." We're just like, okay. And then we get to the field. Game's pushed. We get to the field, hit batting practice at like 12 o'clock, and then we just sit down for I don't even know how long that was. Probably 3 hours. We just sat down, just not doing a thing, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna play at 5." And then.
So what did y'all do? You just kind of like lay around in the buses, or what does that look like?
They let us go into the basketball stadium. Like there's a locker room in there, and so we just kind of sat in there. It was just so long. Even on what was it, game 1 or was it game 2? Yeah, it was game 2 when we had that delay as well.
Right.
And it just sitting like watching paint dry.
Well, Lindsay and I were talking. We recorded Locked On Auburn earlier in the week about how like Coach Thompson usually doesn't say a whole lot in post-game interviews, but he seemed pretty frustrated about the delay situation in game 3. Was the team frustrated, or was that just kind of him talking?
I don't even. I mean, obviously, we were just like, come on, let's play. Or
you want to play baseball, right?
Yeah, I mean, we could have known that we were going to play at 5 o'clock, a long time ago, and like, hey, we could have sat in the hotel instead of getting ready 5 hours before the game and just sitting around. But thankfully, it worked out in our favor. So I guess
so
the rain
when you
delay
have.
was good.
Right.
So when you do batting practice at like 12 for a 3 o'clock game, and then it gets pushed back 2 or 3 hours, I imagine that it's probably a little bit hard for you to get back up. But then the pitchers, I feel like that's probably even a bigger obstacle to your starter as far as trying to time their warm-ups with a delay.
Yeah, I think that was like the whole thing. Why, there was a little bit of frustration was we got to get our guy ready. And if you just keep telling us like, hey, we're at the park for 6 hours and our starting pitcher's just sitting there. I mean, it's different for position players. We got a lot more things that we can do to get ready and work on. But, a starting pitcher has, 30 minutes before the game to get ready. And that's like their whole routine. And, that was just kind of frustrating. But, I mean, Joseph went out there and dominated again. So it seemed to work out fine.
That was the follow-up I had was like, despite all of the delays, to go out there and win that game, like how good did that feel to know that he was able to go out and still give you 8 very, very good innings? I
mean, he's been dominant for the past, I guess, since LSU, the past 3 weekends, and he's just filling up the zone. And, I mean, I think we're all, none of us were worried about all the rain delay because Joseph's a pretty level-headed guy. He's straightforward. If it wasn't going to bother somebody, it was going to be him. He just goes out there and dominates, just fills up the zone.
Has he been really impressive all season? He was just kind of limited because of his, the situation going on with his finger. And now once he got that behind him, he was ready to go. Is that kind of what happened there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was dominant first week in Texas, and then I'm not sure when he got hurt with his fingernail, but, I mean, his fingernail was literally just gross and, like, ripping off. And so
Describe how it looked to us, Sonny. Describe how gross it was.
I mean, it was like just think about a purple fingernail.
It was purple?
It was like a blood blister under his fingernail, and he just – I mean, he tried to pitch – I can't remember which game it was where he tried to pitch through it.
Yeah.
But he was just like he just couldn't do it. And so – I mean, he's back and he's good now. He got a couple manicures, got that thing fixed up. So, yeah, it was definitely pain. He said it was just painful and just he couldn't grip the ball like he wanted to, and it stings. But he's back now.
When's the last time you got a manicure, Sonny?
Never.
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 Got it.
Probably need one.
So when you're playing behind a sinker baller, like how much more pressure do you feel like, hey, his goal right now is for this guy to put the ball into play and I'm going to have to make a play on it? Like how does it help you lock in, or does it give you a little bit more pressure knowing that that's something that he's trying to do is get the ball to you?
Well, it definitely makes, more head on a swivel and just be more like ready. Because, you know, the easy ground ball is the ones right at you, you know, the 5 hoppers. But then, you know, with him, he's got the sinker going into you and the slider going away from you. He's going to get a lot of weak contact, and just always just having to like understand like, hey, this ball could come to me at any second. So I mean, it's obviously fun, keeps you in, you know, it's obviously cool when a guy's out there just striking everybody out, but it's also fun when a guy's just getting a bunch of ground balls.
How's this team feeling going into? I mean, obviously you guys have some midweek games this weekend, but you know, most folks are kind of got their, you know, their gazes set on the 3-game series against South Carolina. How are you guys feeling about that one?
I mean, we're obviously feeling good. We're 8-7. I'm pretty sure. You know, it's the halfway point, and they just keep talking about how last year at the halfway point they weren't even close to this, and just to already be at that level. You know, it would have been great to have won that Thursday game against State, but you know, baseball happens and just didn't go our way. So just being, you know, a game above 500 in conference play at 15 games is just huge, and you know, just obviously looking to win a series every weekend. I mean, always getting 2 out of 3 is great. Even getting 1 out of 3 is great too. Like, nobody wants to just win 1 out of 3, but just still not getting swept is just huge in this league.
So as a veteran player, when you have a game 1 that kind of goes like it did, you know, where there's an uncharacteristic error, you know, and you have some walks and things like that, as a veteran, what do you do to kind of go through and help pick up the guys after something like that and get them locked in for the next game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just being around college so long and just being around the game so long. And I thankfully I understand, you know, things are going to happen in baseball. You know, losses are going to happen. You can't win every single game. And if you do, I mean, it's not just skill there. It's some luck into it. And so just like being the type of guy who's just always just going to be uplifting and just kind of telling the guys like, hey man, it's just a game. Get over it. You got another one Coach Thompson always just tells us like, hey man, we're always 0-0 at the beginning of every day. So just being able to go out there and just think about the game that's, you know, coming up instead of the one in the past is huge. Right.
I mean, and just talking about Coach Thompson, I mean, what have you seen from him? You know, the guy that kind of recruited you out of the transfer portal. You always hear stories about like the coaches change. You know, there's the coach that recruits you and gets you on campus, and there's the coach that, you know, halfway through the season, you know, they're trying to get you to do a certain thing. What are the kind of different versions of Coach Thompson that you've seen?
Honestly, I haven't. Like, I know what you're talking about with that. You know, you get the coach who's, you know, going to try to sell his whole entire personality to you, but it's fake. But I mean, with all of the coaches on staff and everybody that I talked to before and now, I mean, it's all the same. They're all level-headed. They're all straightforward. You know, they're just uplifting with us too. They're never going to try to put us down. And so, I mean, I think that's a huge part of just some of like the mentality of our guys is we'll never just be like, man, you know, we just lost that game by 10 runs or something. It's always like, hey, we're just looking to fight back and win another game, win another day. And I think just Coach Thompson's he's always uplifting with us. He's always going to be on us, and he just wants us to play hard. And, you know, you can play hard and lose. It's going to happen. Just like, you know, the game 1 against State, we played hard, and, you know, the last inning he just caught up with us, and that's just how it is. And so he's been straightforward, man. I love him.
What has been one thing, and this can be as big picture or as technical as you want it to be, but what's one thing, because you were obviously a good player at Sanford before you came to Auburn. You were already a good player when you stepped foot on campus, but what's something that you've learned this season playing under this coaching staff?
So, I mean, obviously the Southern Conference and the SEC is just 2 completely different things.
Yeah, right.
And it's just been kind of cool because we played SEC teams, you know, my past 3 years in midweeks where the games just weren't even close to as important as obviously, you know, it was important, but from a conference standpoint, it just like being able to play in these important conference weekends and just being able to like learn how precious one game really is, and you just can't hand one away. And I think that's been like a huge thing, just learning that, you know, you gotta play hard. You gotta like fight to win every single SEC game because, you know, a matter of making a regional in the SEC is, you know, 11 and 12 wins. And then a matter of hosting a regional is like 14 and 15 wins. You know, it's just so close in that. Whereas, you know, in the Southern Conference, we had to win our conference just to make it out. And so that was obviously super tough. But just the competitiveness and like how much every game matters has really been the difference.
Right. Lindsay, tell folks how they can support Sonny. Obviously, NIL Auburn is one way. Sonny, you're repping the hat. NILAuburn.com. Be sure to check that out and make the experience for Auburn athletes as solid as possible. And fans can obviously have a piece of that. And Lindsay, tell folks about AU shirts, what all they have going on.
Yeah, so the Thick King shirt that Sonny's wearing right here, aushirts.com. It's in blue, it's in orange, it's in gray, it's in baseball field green, which I just saw was an option on that website. So they can definitely do that. And I want to put you on the spot real quick, Sonny. If you had to pick Thursday through Saturday series or Friday through Sunday series, because I'm a fan of the Thursday through Saturday.
See, like Easter weekend type of thing, Thursday through Saturday for sure. But I mean, I'm gonna have to go with the weekend, like Friday through Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's how I've always played them. So I don't know if there's like any rhyme or reason behind it. I just, like keeping that same routine. Cause like days like today, obviously it's Easter today, but like if it was like a regular Sunday, I'd just be sitting around like, man, what am I supposed to do today?
Yeah. Well, there's the expression like Fridays in the SEC. Like that's a big deal. I mean, can you feel it? Is there a different kind of feeling in the air when a series starts on a Friday night?
Oh yeah. I mean,
okay.
It also we have Thursday games. Like, it could be hard for people out of town coming, being able to get off work, but always like the Friday series, you obviously want the most people there to set the tone.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a difference. It's having the Thursday and Friday is definitely with the fans being there.
Yeah. Selfishly, I like coming home and chilling on a Thursday and being able to watch you guys, but I'm not playing. So that makes sense.
I hear you.
Sonny, thank you for your time again, brother. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.